As you guys know, this podcast started off just with a girl with a dream to make more money. And I knew when I started that it was going to go places. I didn't know I would fall off as quickly as I did. To be honest, I did think this was going to last a bit longer. But nevertheless, it lasted a minute, and I'm proud of the accomplishments I have, and I'm pretty sad that it has to end like this, but it's okay.
The entertainment world loves a comeback story, but sometimes what's billed as a grand return feels more like a stumble back onto the stage. That's exactly what's unfolding with Bobbi Althoff, the self-proclaimed industry plant who once seemed poised to leap from D-list obscurity to A-list spotlight. Just weeks ago, she stunned fans by announcing the abrupt end of her podcast.
How'd you become an influencer or creator?
Just wanting to make money.
I hope that I go from D-list to A-list. That's my goal in 10 years.
From D-list to A-list?
Yes.
The very platform that catapulted her into cultural relevance. Her explanation was equal parts confession and confusion, admitting she started with nothing more than a dream to make more money, and the belief that her moment would last longer than it did. The quick rise and fall left many scratching their heads, especially given how heavily the industry itself appeared to be propping her up. And with Bobbi's ambitions laid bare, a climb towards celebrity and cash, not necessarily artistry, few believed she'd walk away from the limelight so easily. Her actions since that announcement only deepened the skepticism. She vanished from her own YouTube channel, leaving it eerily quiet, save for one highly awkward detour into Nick Cannon's podcast.
I did her podcast, so I forced her to do mine. The one and only Bobbi Althoff. Y'all make some noise for her.
Now, to be fair to her, this was a live show, and I'm sure she was nervous.
That appearance, far from a triumphant guest spot, exposed her worst habits in front of a live audience.
You got any advice for her?
No.
Have you ever been in it, like, your family care for any of your relationships?
No, my parents are supportive of anyone I like, so.
Oh, you got good parents.
True.
That's amazing. Doc, you got any expert advice for her?
First of all,
Bobbi, once celebrated for her dry, awkward humor, came across not as sharp or satirical, but simply disengaged. She avoided eye contact, fiddled with her bracelet, and left Cannon to carry the weight of the conversation. For someone who built her brand on coaxing humor and discomfort out of her guests, the reversal was brutal. When the roles flipped and she was asked to play along, she offered little more than single-word answers, even as Cannon teased her about once grilling him on condoms and fatherhood during her own show.
We'd have to do a whole episode where we
Well, you're not playing with spades. Yeah, I just splashed water all over you.
Squirting all over the place.
Don't do that.
What?
Don't do that.
It's moist.
You're disgusting.
What? You took it to a sexual connotation. You literally squirted right there with the water.
So you had no sexual connotation
No,
with that?
I didn't plan that. I didn't plan for us to meet today and you squirt all over the place.
The irony wasn't lost on viewers. The queen of uncomfortable banter had suddenly become the guest no host wants. Still, even in the haze of her uneven public appearances, Bobbi dropped hints about changes in her personal life.
What if you walked in on your man and saw him, going for the goal? Would you say something to him?
No.
You would just let him keep going?
She acknowledged being in a serious relationship but downplayed its visibility, admitting her kids still believe the man is just a friend. It was a rare moment of openness, but even that was overshadowed by whispers of her past ties to Drake. After all, it was Drake who gave her the breakout interview that lit the fuse on her short-lived fame and allegedly fueled personal turmoil, with rumors swirling that her marriage cracked under the weight of missed family obligations and late-night hotel interviews. Fans remember the awkward energy between them, Bobbi acting unimpressed at his concert, their viral exchanges laced with humor and innuendo, and the eventual scrubbing of their infamous episode. Now, with her return, Drake's name is once again in the orbit, and the signs suggest he's not just a passing mention, but a central player in her attempt at reinvention.
All right, so we're gonna take this moment, Bobbi, to get all in your business. Since you got in my business.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, the clip you just posted of me, you literally asked me, do I even, what'd you say, do I know what a condom is?
First of all, all my kids are on purpose.
Do you know what a condom is?
First of all,
Okay.
if I didn't know what a condom is, I'd probably have 1,000 kids.
Oh my God, that's a lot of sex.
But yeah.
When Bobbi Althoff resurfaced, she didn't just tiptoe back into the spotlight. She came striding in with Drake looming over her narrative once again. After months of speculation, she reappeared in a cheeky backstage video from one of his concerts, poking fun at his autotune and declaring she'd never act disinterested at one of his shows again. It was more than a playful jab. It was a signal. What followed was a calculated rollout that felt engineered to reignite her fading star, complete with a new podcast launch, promotional photos where she symbolically tossed her old show in the trash, and even posed in mock mugshots, clinging to Drake like a partner in crime.
Point do you say, all right, now I can introduce this person to my children?
Well, I didn't introduce like any of the other people where it was more casual that I was talking to. But once it was serious and it was someone who I wanted to be in my life every day. But to this day, they still think he's just a friend of mine. I'm not like kissing in front of them or anything. Like they think it's just a friend they're meeting. And I have male friends who are around all the time.
So there's no difference?
He's different than a friend, but.
For someone who once swore she was stepping away, it became clear this wasn't an ending at all, but a reboot, with Drake once again serving as the anchor to her narrative. The whispers about his role in her career only grew louder. Critics have long speculated that Drake has had some financial or strategic stake in Bobbi's trajectory from the very beginning, a theory that explains why someone of his caliber would continuously give her opportunities that many seasoned creators never touch. And it wouldn't be unprecedented. Drake has a history of sponsoring careers. Though his track record with artists and influencers under his wing has often been less about longevity and more about short bursts of visibility. If that's the case here, Bobbi's comeback may already have an expiration date, no matter how carefully orchestrated the imagery looks. The awkward, off-kilter humor that once felt fresh to audiences has dulled, and even she seems to be struggling to breathe new life into the same bit. But perhaps the most fascinating subplot isn't Bobbi herself. It's who Drake is not extending that same support to. For years, DJ Academics has bent over backwards to defend him, amplifying his narratives and even compromising his own credibility to stay aligned with the superstar.
Say Bobbi with an I, do you love me? Say Bobbi with an I.
Do you love me?
Yeah.
I'll try and fit it all in.
Then I'll come to one of your shows. Are you inviting me to one of your shows?
Yeah, I'd love it.
Am I your type?
I'd do it.
Thank you.
Yet when it comes to real recognition, Academics has been conspicuously overlooked. Drake gifts $100,000 watches to other influencers, pops into streams with creators like Aiden Ross, and flies out entire crews of personalities to London. Yet Academics, his loudest online defender, can't even get a casual shout-out or a feature. The contrast is striking. A woman often mocked as an industry plant is being ushered back onto the main stage, while Drake's most loyal foot soldier is left waving from the sidelines. For fans watching, it paints a picture not just of Bobbi's shaky comeback, but of the power plays that define Drake's circle, where loyalty doesn't necessarily translate to access. If Bobbi Althoff's first rise felt like lightning in a bottle, her second act already seems weighed down by the gravity of overexposure and shaky foundations. Her attempt at rebranding, a more refined, poised, and pleasant podcast, lands with the same awkward energy as her previous work, leaving many to question whether the gimmick can stretch any further. The banter, once packaged as dry wit, now feels forced, even tiresome, like a bit that should have ended before it wore out its welcome. For the industry, it's another reminder of how quickly hype cycles spin. Creators elevated overnight by powerful cosigns can just as easily fade when the novelty wears thin. And in Bobbi's case, tying her brand so closely to Drake may give her short-term shine, but it also risks tethering her fate to someone who has historically cycled through protégés with little regard for their long-term careers. What makes this comeback almost surreal is the stark irony of who's left out in the cold. DJ Academics, once Drake's loudest amplifier, continues to be overlooked, even mocked, despite years of unwavering support. Viewers can't ignore the comedy in watching him sidelined while Bobbi, with her emotionless delivery and carefully curated deadpan, gets another shot at the spotlight. It's a move that underscores how Drake operates, not by rewarding loyalty, Pete, but by orchestrating narratives that benefit him in the moment. He uses allies as megaphones, not partners. And when the tides shift, they're discarded as quickly as they were elevated. For Bobbi, the stakes are clear. She's gambling on a second wind powered by the same machinery that created her in the first place. But lightning rarely strikes twice, and the podcasting space she's re-entering is already littered with the remnants of once buzzy shows. The celebrity commentary world is fickle, and audiences are quicker than ever to call out inauthenticity. While her comeback is wrapped in slick imagery and high-profile alliances, it lacks the spark of discovery that made her initial run intriguing. The question now isn't whether Bobbi can ride Drake's cosign to another viral moment, it's whether she can survive once the shine wears off. And if history has shown us anything, it's that industry plants bloom quickly, but rarely thrive for long.